joined with a big name in the sports betting industry. He is the founder and the CEO of the Score app. Mr. John Levy joins us. How are you, sir?
Dad, I'm great. Great. How are you? You're looking very well.
How you been enjoying life, dealing with all this?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, listen, we're lucky. We were able to make the transition as far as the Score was concerned. Young guys working for us. Very digitally savvy. Wasn't much effort to try to stand them up at home. We got back to up 230 employees, so it's a lot. It's a big family. I call it. We're a public company, but we still treat it like a family. But we could place them at home. So, work sort of happened seamlessly. And for me too. I mean, I'm in Hamilton, and you're on Zoom all day long, or Google Meet, or Hangout, or whatever. So we can't complain. I mean,
what have you learned? I guess what have you learned through all this as far as a pure business execution? Like everything's virtually now, and are you finding that, I guess, execution-wise, that you're achieving things just as good, if not better, since COVID hit?
Yeah, I would. It's hard to say, just as good, if not better. Our guys are very effective. They're very capable of doing their work. The engineers are working their brains out, and the content guys. NFL came back, so our content guys did go back into the office, right? Because that's a very concentrated sort of effort during a Sunday afternoon, and Saturday too for NCAA. So, and you obviously have to do it safely, but it's people adapt, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And for the future, it really makes you think. I mean, how much space do you really need? And
I know.
How do you facilitate and make life comfortable for the people? And the one thing I do feel though, and one of the special factors that we had at the Score, and you remember it from years ago, from the TV days and into the digital world, it really was a community. I mean, a lot of companies say that, and but we really were. I mean, it's a family business. It's always treated like a family business, and there was just something about the whole open environment. People coming, and the shared experience is important. I really do believe that. And
well, the family experience you don't get in the media world all that often this day and age, do you? We won't get into that though, will we?
No, we won't get into that. But historically, you did, right? I mean, a lot of media companies were family business. But I'm not talking about that type of big family stuff. I'm talking about the way you deal with people, the way you treat people.
Yeah.
And we've always had sort of a young employee group, and just in terms of how our company's very progressive, right? And we're always pushing the envelope. We're always doing new stuff. I was going to swear, new stuff, right? And there's a lot of collaboration that goes into figuring that stuff out. Content dealing with developers with product with sales. In our current office, and I don't know if you've been up to ever since we moved to down the street on King Street, but it's a completely open environment. I mean, I sit at a desk. There's no offices. My sales guys are right over there. I hear everything they're doing, right? The product guys are over there. The esports guys are over there. So yes, effectively we can continue to operate, and it's been amazing how well they've been performing and the productivity. But I just sometimes worry about the fact that, people aren't face to face. They're not seeing everybody.
You like that office morale, which
they're
makes
not
sense.
going out for lunch. They're not having a sandwich together. They don't get an idea and then just jump across the desk to somebody else and say, I just thought of something. How is that going to affect what you guys are working on? And park that in the back of your mind. And it's a lot easier to do that when you're face to face and in that environment. So listen, hopefully we're going to get back to it someday, not to do this in future. But I'm sure people who are very comfortable distant producing, will stay that way. And one other thing I'll say is in the context of developers. Now, we got developers, engineers coming from all over the world that are working with us now. So very comfortable.
Well, your obviously company is pivoting big time, and so is this industry. Let's talk about it. There's been changes stateside when it comes to the sports gaming and gambling industry. What do you make of obviously the shifting landscape and where it is right now?
So I love it. Number one. Number two, I don't want to say that we were sort of looking into this globe and seeing how the world was going to unfold, but it actually is coming to fruition exactly the way we had always hoped it would. I mean,
and what's that look like?
Well, it looks like people are finally coming to recognize, hey, sports betting is a real part of the sports landscape.
Right.
I mean, it's been this thing that's been kept undercover, right? but it always existed.
Mm-hmm.
And we, again, going back to the TV network, we had the odds on the ticker, right? Our guys, talked about sports betting in an open and authentic way, not like TSN or ESPN in the States, where if a guy kicks a field goal and it goes over a spread, they're going, that's interesting. Our guys were pulling their goddamn hair out because they probably lost a bet, right? So it was that engagement. It was that authenticity. So PASPA falls in the States, right, which was the big watershed event, and boom, now everybody gets excited, right? Everybody's scratching out. Gaming companies that have been ignoring sports betting for years are saying, okay, how do I get? Media companies are saying, maybe there is something, more sports than just showing the game. There's the different levels of engagement, and you're seeing.
But don't you find even more so now? Like, look, I'm a sports fan. You're a sports fan. Doesn't feel the same, obviously, having an empty seated arena. Watching the NFL last week, and they bring the noise crowd up, and it seems like there's like 60, 70,000 fans. Then you see a camera shot, and the stadium's empty, and you're like, oh yeah,
the cardboard people, right, sitting there.
But to get that same kind of in-game entertainment, it's like, I placed a couple bets last week. The damn Bills killed me on $5,000, but oh well. But anyway, I would think based off of that, this industry even more so has such a huge opportunity because of what is currently going on in the world.
It is you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I guess the only point I was making is that sports betting has always been there. Right. And now it's opening up, and there's huge money, both within the industry and in the financial community. You see what's happening in terms of, the valuations of some of the media companies, right? It's going crazy. Or they're announcing these deals and everybody's going nuts. I don't think anybody really understands what the deals are. Some of them are, just sophisticated marketing deals or super affiliate deals by the big companies, right? Just like one that was announced yesterday, right? Caesar's taking over Will Hill, right?
I know.
It sort of got lost in the shuffle yesterday because there's a lot going on in the news media. But from our perspective, I mean, we've always taken a different approach to it, right? We're always, again, getting back to what I was saying before, which is, sports betting is just a natural part of the sports landscape. And it's a natural part of why you and I love sports, right? I mean, some of us will just watch it on television. Some of us will play fantasy. Some of us will go to a bar with our buddies. Sports betting is just a part of it. And, traditionally, it's always been this sort of monolithic thing out there where you go to your offshore, which you won't be doing in the near future. We'll talk about Canada in a minute. But, you go to your offshore and you make your bet. But, that's all it really is. It's really a betting platform, right? And our view is, no, betting should be integrated and be part and parcel and as part of the whole sports experience. So our view was, and the way we've designed it and developed it, which is really unique from everybody else, is bring bets inside the media landscape. Yeah. So when you're on the Score app, hopefully next year, in the next 6 to 12 months, when we get you finally, sports betting opens up in Canada, which we believe it really will. Or if you were in New Jersey with us now, or Colorado or Indiana, where we actually have launched, you'd be in our app. You'd be engaged. You'd want to make the decision to make a bet because you're in a box score and you see something and you think, aha, now's my chance. So you actually build the bet slip right in the media app. And then, it trains out to the Score bet because it has to be. And then you brought it right back into the media app. So the whole experience is really where you're comfortable and where
it's all about the end user, right?
It's all about the end user. It's all about the experience. And we've built this thing uniquely to fashion that experience and make it easy for you. And that's really the whole idea that we have. And really is rooted in the fact that we're really a media company first. We're a digital sports media company, and we're integrating this into it.